lovely friends. I'm sorry you're getting me... Hold on. That's from the last vlog. You didn't see that. Hello, my lovely friends. It's Margaret. This is a reading vlog. Hi. I'm sorry you're getting me all gross and sweaty from my run, but the daylight is quickly going, and so I must film now. So this is a readathon that is running from March 7th until the 13th. So I've got 7 days to read. Oh, good Lord. Whoops. No, that's... I have 7 days to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. It's fine. This vlog is going to be my vlog for Koreadathon. I am trying to fulfill all of the prompts when I do this. I've got several things that we are going to be working on, and so let me just run through what I'm going to be reading this week. If you're not interested in that, if you just want to like whatever, just skip ahead, I guess. I'll have timestamps as usual in the bottom. So the first prompt obviously is going to be, I'm reading Winter in XOXO, which is the group book. I have that via Hoopla, so I will be reading it that way because my library, even though they have 2 copies available, is not transporting any of them. It has not it's not on the way to me. I don't understand this. Like, there are no other holds. It's just me. They're not reference books based on their tags, and they're not at libraries that are close to me at all, like not in any way, shape, or form, so it's not like I can go and grab them. So let's see, are they in transit yet? Oh, it's in transit, finally. I'll have it in time for the wrap-up. I wonder if that library is only open certain days of the week. Oh dear. We now have 2 of the same book headed my way. I've made mistakes. I was like, I'll just go ahead and, so this is a completely different book, but I was like, I'll just go ahead and I will put a hold on both, and whichever one comes to me, you know, gets there first. Nope, they're both on their way at the same time. I'm going to be reading Winter in XOXO. Hopefully that'll come in soon enough that I can actually get my hands. In fact, okay, that's going to change my plans because I was going to start that on ebook tonight, but if I have a physical copy coming, I am going to wait. Okay, so the prompts for this are to read the group book, which I'm reading. Challenge number 2 is to read a book translated from Korean. For that, I am going to be reading Jiyoung, born 1982. This one is nice and is short, so I should be able, this will probably be a physical read. I've got a couple that I'm planning on reading on audiobook, and then I've got a couple that obviously I'm going to have to read physically. So that's what's happening. This one also may count for historical fiction, depending on how quickly I can get through my first audiobook. But I also have Pachinko by Minjin Lee. I've been meaning to read this for forever, and the movie is coming out, or the, like, is it a mini-series? Something like that. It's coming out, so it's time that I read this. Pachinko is also going to be doubling up for challenge number 4, which is to read an award-winning Korean novel. And then the next challenge is to read a manhwa, challenge number 5, and so I am going to be reading Grass by Kyum Suk Jindri Kim. It's about some sort of internment camp that's going on at some point. And I can't remember exactly where in history it's happening, but it sounded really interesting when I was listening to Monica talk about it in her video, and I was like, well, if my library has it, I'll get it, and my library happened to have it. For challenge number 6, I'm also going to be pulling in Kim Jiyoung, born 1982. That's to read a book recommended by a Korean celebrity, and that's one of the ones that came up. And then the final one, challenge number 7, is to read a book featuring a Korean diaspora character, and for that, I have XOXO by XOXO. This is the audiobook that I am going to be starting out with. So I think what we're gonna do, since I'm waiting for Winter in XOXO to come in physical form, so I'm waiting so I can have it in my hand. This is going to be my audiobook for the next couple of days, and then this is going to be my physical read for the next couple of days, and we're gonna be smart about this. That's how it's gonna work, because I think 1, 2, and then Winter in XOXO need to be read. I'll read those physically, and then I'll pick up the audiobook for Pachinko hopefully as well. Can I finish 5 books? We're asking the same question that we asked last vlog. One of these is gonna go. I don't know which one it is, but we will see. Only some of these are on my, no wait, only one of these is on my Fable and TBR. Oops, this is why you should figure out all your TBRs before you film your special TBR game. Anyways, I will check in later at some point. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. I'm just like bad at vlogging these days. If Michelle could see me now, they would laugh at me because I am once again all in purple. I don't do this on purpose. I just see things and obviously have to buy the purple one and not in the the other ones. You don't think about how that looks until I get home. That rant sponsored by a TikTok Michelle sent attacking me, I guess. I want to know what I did to Michelle. Why is Michelle mad at me that she's attacking me with these TikToks? You didn't see that. Hi, it's Friday, and I am here with updates. We are 11 days into March, and I just finished my first, woo, you're still wet. I just finished my first book. I absolutely, definitely just dumped a glass of water on my floor next to where my books were. No books were harmed in the making of this video, but it definitely is making these stick together a little bit. Okay, so when we last talked, I was starting XOXO by XOXO. I have since finished it. I am mad that there is no visual version of this yet. Like, I know it just came out, but I'm mad that there is not a TV show or a movie or something, because I needed more and I wanted to just rewatch the entire thing. It was really cute. It was really good. I liked, okay, so like I thought it was handled really well for the type of student that the main character is, which is a very driven student. She knows what she wants to do. She's a cellist. And you don't get into orchestra, like music, and not be super serious about it. You just don't. Like when you have so much competition that everyone is doing things technically perfect, it is so hard to stand out. Versus like if you're singing, people don't have to be technically perfect for like there's a little bit more room for style when you're talking about like a musical theater major or someone who's doing acting. Long story short, I thought the XOXO did a really good job of keeping this like age appropriate and making it kind of a like a thing that would legitimately be a high school relationship. Like it wasn't necessary. Now I do think that these are two that like high school sweethearts that eventually might get married, but like it wasn't one of those where like, oh my god, you're the one from the get-go. It was just like, I really like being with you. I'm also currently working on Kim Jiyoung, born 1982, by Cho Namju. This is really interesting because like we start out with the very beginning kind of talking, giving us like almost like a prequel talking about what was going on, what led up to the events of what's happening and why the main character is going to therapy. And then the rest of it, once you get past that first prologue, is her therapy session where she is talking to her therapist about her life and everything that's going on. And it's this very like removed third person thing where like there are even like footnotes in here if you want to actually look up some of the stuff that the main narrator is telling you. Like there's footnotes. I am 100 and something pages in here, like 118 I think is where I was. Yeah, I'm at 118, so we've got this much left to go. So I should have that finished by tonight, and then I'm going to try and read Winter and XOXO tomorrow, because I still also need to read the graphic novel, and I am currently working on Pachinko by Minjin Lee. I started this morning, and I'm not entirely sure actually how far into it I am. I didn't ask you to play. I'm almost 2.5 hours into it, and I have 16 hours left. I don't think we've even really gotten into the main plot. I think this has all mostly just been set up and introducing us to the historical setting, into the, not necessarily, but like the way life is in the, where the main characters live. We've just gotten to like the very beginning. I think so this is a family saga, so that means that it is going to cover multiple points of view, multiple people, and follow them throughout their lives. So I am just at the beginning part because I think we're about to get into the inciting incident that sets this family on the path that they're going to be set on. Anyways, I am interested to see what's going on in this. It's about a period in history that I don't think a lot of us think about or are aware of, especially since it is what happened, like it happened in Korea and Japan. This morning we have an update. It's cold in Florida. I got up yesterday and it was a nice, decent, normal temperature, and then it rained for like 30 minutes, and now everyone's in long sleeves and pants. We're here because I am gonna update you guys on Pachinko. I am almost halfway through, according to the thingy on my audiobook. I did not get as much reading done yesterday as I would have liked to, but I also had to watch an entire television show before the live show. It's funny because I'm always like, yes, historical fiction, and then I start reading it and I'm like, oh, that's right. Historical fiction is sad. This is following a family, or a woman and her family, as they go in the events leading up to World War II, through World War II, and then we're getting to the aftermath. Or going through, because like this is going to go through several generations. Like we started with her mom, we followed her for a little bit, and then I think we're going to follow both of her sons as we get into the next book. They are wonderful children, by the way. I love them so much. Like, I just want only good things to happen to these boys. I want only good things to happen to everyone, but like when you send a character to Nagasaki, you know good things are not going to happen to them. It's really interesting because it took me like till page 200 when I finally like looked in and saw what all of the names were to realize that every single one of these men has a like a Koreanized version of a Bible name. Like we had Isaac, we have Joseph, who is Joseph, obviously, and then the boys are Noah and Mosazu for Moses. And I was just like, oh, okay. It was just really cool for me to be like, oh yeah, like obviously different languages are going to have these names. Like even English is not the original version of these names. And it was really cool to be able to like learn what, you know, someone growing up in Korea, hold on, there is a hair. I have to fix this. Okay. What somebody growing up in Korea would know as the names of these biblical figures. I don't think I'm going to finish all of the books this weekend. I'm going to try and finish Kim Jiyoung. Reading hasn't been happening. I keep meaning to go to bed in time to like do something about this, and then I don't. So I'm just going to have to find some time to read today and finish at least one of those. And then I'll probably start the other one. I think I'm still going to read all of the books that I got for Koreadathon, if I can. But I don't know that they will all be read in this week. And I also have to keep in mind that it's the 13th. And, why does that look back? Because I'm weird, that's why. It's the 13th, and I need to finish, I have finished one book, and it was not a book on my TBR. I'm trying to finish this by the end of the day as well, even though I have lots to go, because I need to read Ship of Magic, and I'd like to read Ship of Magic, start that on Monday, because I have to have it done by Friday, which, I mean, that was always the plan, was to start it after Koreadathon was over. I just kind of forgot how much book there is there, but I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I gotta make a grocery list and go get groceries because I got paid Friday. I'm trying out some recipes from this little cookbook that like has recipes for one person, and I think that should be fun. I have to find a decent sized bag of spinach, I think, based on what I was planning on doing. I'm having one of those days where I just don't want to adult. I want to crawl back in bed and sleep like a small child. It doesn't help that the weather change obviously has affected my sinuses. So like I was already the oak trees, which I didn't have a problem with oak trees until I hit like the last like, I don't know, 3-4 years. Didn't have a problem. But so now we have the oak trees and the pollen going and this weather thing, and so my nose was just like stopped up and sinusy all day, and I'm used to having sinus issues in the morning. Like the first thing I do, like first thing when I have like what I call it, this is probably gross for people, like as soon as I drink water in the morning, I have what I call a sinus dump, which is where everything that is built up overnight in my sinuses just dumps down the back of my throat. It's not as gross as it sounds because you don't really feel it, but like it does make me sniffly and snotty. But then after about a half an hour, I'm fine. Alas, right now, it's an all-day thing apparently. We have finished another book. Yaha. What was that? So I finished Kim Jiyoung born 1982. I've also made a lot of progress on Pachinko. I'm at like 70-something%, I think. And we just passed a point where one of the characters, one of the boys, has made a decision that made me very angry. 77%. Because he is an ungrateful child. I'm just like, I understand that what his mother told him may have rocked his world, but like after everything this woman has sacrificed for this boy, someone needs to sit down and give him a talking to. And his dad would do that, but his dad is dead. So, anyways, I just finished this. It's really interesting. So, it's apparently like the way that it's told, it's the case notes for a patient, or for Kim Jiyoung's, or from Kim Jiyoung's, oh God, what's the word? Psychiatrist. And so it's in this really like clinical style, and it's so funny the way that it wraps up at the end, because he spends all of this time like telling you about this woman's life and why she had the psychotic break that she had, why she ended up exhibiting the symptoms that she ended up exhibiting, and then he just goes on blissfully unaware in his ending remarks, and it's so funny. It's just like, you almost had it, my dude. You almost had it. So close, but you weren't. It was definitely like, knowing now what I like know from the end, knowing that it makes so much sense, like the tone and the way this story was approached. And so I thought that was a really, really clever thing for the author to do. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving this 4 stars. This really is a good novel on the obliviousness of men, even men who are trying to be supportive partners and feminist partners. It's just like, ugh, and the expectations, because like honestly, you read this and a lot of people would want to be like, oh, but it's Korea, it's not like that here. And it is very much like that here. Like, the number one reason women stay home is because there is a child that needs to be taken care of, and typically because they're not taking time off to have kids and take care of kids, the male parent is the one that ends up having the more stable, higher paying job. I mean, COVID forced so many women out of the workplace, and we are going to be catching up for a long time. But anyways, I thought that this was really good, and I think if you're interested in like looking at some of the similarities between how women are treated in the US and how women are treated in Korea, definitely pick it up. Anyways, I'm gonna try and finish Pachinko, and then I will try to pick up Winter and XOXO before the end of the, oh, this is nice big text too. I'll probably pick this up before the end of the night. But anyways, I'm gonna go now. The tank tops have returned, my friends. So I did better than I have in previous years for Koreadathon. Okay. So, books you would have seen me read in this vlog. Final thoughts. I did watch Love and Leashes. That was my K-drama for the week. Yeah, for the readathon. Because I couldn't find what I wanted, which was like a celebrity, normal person K-drama type thing on Netflix. So if anyone knows of any K-dramas on Netflix that are similar to this, please let me know. Like, it doesn't have to be a K-pop idol. It can be anyone who is famous. And just, like, I think I would really like that in a K-drama. Anyways, first book I finished was XOXO by XOXO. This was super cute. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and it was just so much fun to read and go through, and I thought that she did a really good job of creating the main character of Jenny. I thought she did a really good job with, thank you. I thought that she did a really good job with the main character, Jenny, and the side characters and everyone that's around her. It was, they were all separate people, in my opinion. And I really liked that. I thought that that was a good kind of, that's refreshing. It's nice to feel like you know the characters, like what they would be doing outside of life. So, anyways, highly recommend this one. Like, if you read any of the books in this, read this one. It is so just warm and fuzzy and fun. I wanted more of it. Next book that I finished was Kim Jiyoung, born 1982 by Cho Namju. I also gave this 4 stars. I thought it was really well done. It's like, it's different than what I am used to in fiction because it's far more, it's like an academic fiction. It's like the writer really got into like how a doctor would write up a report on a patient, and I really liked that. I really liked what it had to say about women in the workforce and how that intersects with women being wives and mothers, and the options that are available to women. I think that the situation probably is slightly different in South Korea, just based on like some of the stuff that the main character Jiyoung had to deal with, but at the same time, they're like, it's like 90% similar. So yeah, was a fun time being mad. And then the final one that I read was Pachinko by Minjin Lee. This wasn't a sad book, but it also wasn't a not sad book. And I don't know why I like historical fiction so much. I think possibly because I feel like I'm learning something as I'm reading. But like, oof, this decisions were made by characters that I'm just like, not happy about. This was less sad than the last historical fiction I read for Koreadathon. But it was, Anyways, it is so well written though. The way that the author just kind of seamlessly goes from the very beginning with the main character's mother. We start with Young Jin, who is the main character's mother, and we follow this all the way to her great grandson. And like the way that the author just seamlessly takes and integrates all of these narratives into each other, the way that like we kind of transition throughout this book with who the main character in the narrative is. We spend like the great majority, I feel, following Sunja and what she does to keep her family, to make sure that they are able to like go to school, to make sure that they're able to thrive. And then we follow her kids and her grandkids. And like the way that she just kind of like, you kind of don't even notice that she has changed the main character of the novel on you. Like any of the times she does it. Like obviously at the beginning you're reading about Young Jin, you're going, okay, yeah, well like we know, because it's talking about Sanja's mother, and like so you know from the beginning like we're building up to meet a specific character. And then it just like kind of like it because of the way that because Sunja is our continuing main character's mom and grandma, she still is such a central part of the narrative that she still is part of the narrative. And so I just, like, that was so well done. The descriptions in this book, really well done. I think that this is, there's so much here that I did not, it's funny because I didn't know a lot about this particular part of Korean and Japanese history, but it does touch on other parts that I did know. So this was really, really interesting to read. I think that I'm not mad I read it. I'm still conflicted about the ending, but I'm not mad I read it. So yeah, if you are interested in this book at all, I recommend reading it. So doing that, I think I completed all of the prompts except reading the group book, which I started last night, and I am currently 43 pages in. This reads really fast, and I'm not sure if that's because I don't think it's because I have a large print edition, because this looks like a normal sized print. Like, oh, maybe it is. I don't know. But like, it's really interesting, and I'm enjoying how we're getting into the main, it's a first person narrative with the main character, and like, it's different. Not in a bad way, it's different. If you're feeling chatty, let me know in the comments a historical fiction book that you picked up that you learned something reading, or made you interested to learn more about a specific period of history that you didn't know about. Bonus points if it is a period of history that is not set in the United States anywhere. If you're not feeling chatty, go ahead and give me a sad face emoji because I didn't read their group book. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoyed this video, I will have another vlog over here and whatever is latest on my channel right here. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!